Hi, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Megan.
Welcome to the Grimdark Diaries.
We're your geek gal pals obsessed with true crime and all things dark and disturbing.
Hi, everybody. Welcome for another absolutely fantastic, wonderful episode.
That won't be dark and disturbing at all.
The Grimdark Diaries. I didn't say it wasn't. I can't be both of those things.
No, that's true.
I was telling Megan earlier that I had to go into my office to work a day's work for the first time in over 2 years, and can confirm I am now feral. I don't think I can be reintegrated into society.
That's a real thing. Reintegration is hard. It's gotta be.
Okay, I had a real moment. So I made it like pretty good through the workday, and I had to make a lot of small talk with people, just like people that I obviously haven't, people that like you're not close with, but you're friendly with in the office.
Right.
And they would see you and be like, "Oh, how are you doing?"
Yeah.
And everybody just says, "Good." And you, good. And you, good. And
Oh,
you, good. And you, for like 8 hours.
Wow.
So that
When do you get
fun.
any work done, Nikki?
Oh my God. And then near the end of the day, I had like an hour left, and I was not interested in staying a second past when I had to get out of there. And I was coming back from the washroom, and I was walking through the lobby to go to where my desk is in my office. And there was one of the senior vice presidents of my company was waiting for the elevator in the lobby. And he was like, "Oh, hey, Nikki." And I was like, "Hi." And we chatted for a second, and he's like, "What are you doing in the office?" And I had to get my laptop updated, so I had to go.
Oh, no.
So that's what I said. But he was like, "Oh, like so-and-so who is like super high up in our company had just happened to be in the office. They flew in from New York for this one day only.
Oh.
And I deal with some stuff in their department." And he was like, "They're in the boardroom right over there. Do you want me to bring you in and introduce you?" And without skipping a beat, I went, "No, I don't." Because I forget how to act now.
That's fair.
And I forgot. Normally I'd be like, "Oh my goodness, yes, what a great opportunity."
Right?
But before I could even think, I went, "No, I don't want to meet them." And he was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah, no,
I really don't.
I was like, "No, I got a lot of work to do, and I don't want to stay
Yeah.
a minute past when I have to be in this office." "Okay, thanks. Have a good
Okay,
day."
bye. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yep, so that really reinforced that I am in fact feral, and I forgot pleasantries.
Yeah, that's
Is that what that is?
Yeah, no.
Are those what I'm supposed to have?
This is what I said earlier, is that your natural filter that you have, the holes in it get a lot bigger. So stuff gets through that shouldn't probably.
Oh my
go
goodness.
through.
I can't work, because if people saw the facial expressions that I make throughout the day, I can't help it. I just have an expressive face. I'm very dramatic.
That's true. You are. You very much are. But it's easier when you're at home and you're not like having face-to-face conversations with people.
Yes.
It's hard to hide.
And I'm
those
in a much
faces.
better mood because I didn't have to wake up and try and look like a presentable human being that smells decent and is wearing put together clothes and has brushed her hair. And I didn't have to commute an hour to get into my office, because I'll tell you what, that already sets my day off to not be in a great mood.
Can't even imagine an hour to get to work in the morning. That's just crazy.
No, and then our home is 2 hours of my day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wasted.
It is wasted. What are you doing with all that time? Did you have to take transit home?
I was going to, and then one of the analysts that I manage, who is just absolutely fabulous, she drove in and she offered to drive me home, and I absolutely accepted that.
That was so nice. Wow. Yeah, I was going to ask how transit was, because it's been a while since you've done any transit.
I was going to have to.
Yeah.
I was panicking a little
Yeah.
about having to take transit, because I had some amount of pleasantries while at work because I'm at work.
Right.
But had I been on public transit with a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, after you were done for the day, like, and I don't mean done work, I just mean like done with people for the day.
Oh, done. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I was friggin' exhausted. I usually go to bed now, like, I don't know, 10, 11, maybe midnight. By 8 o'clock, I was like, I'm ready for bed. This day was just exhausting. It was exhausting. Just being nice all day.
Real with me on that one. Like, I didn't believe you the first time, but the second time, it was exhausting. Yeah, absolutely.
I can't do it. I don't know how we used to work 5 days a week in an office.
Right. And I remember very clearly, you would be in bed by like 9:30 maximum.
Up at 5:30.
Up at 5:30. Yeah. And that was like your life. You did that every day. I don't know how. I didn't even know how you did that then. Because I am like,
no, I don't know how I did it looking back now.
I'm a 7 or 7:30 a.m. kind of person. I cannot sleep. I cannot get up early. I struggle so hard. I'm not a morning person though. I know you are.
I like getting up in the morning, but even this, I had to get up earlier than usual because I had to factor in a freaking commute. And obviously I walk downstairs to my office in my pajamas, but like I was up at like 6 a.m.,
yeah,
putting little eye jellies under my eyes to hide the bags and moisturizing my skin, putting some mascara on. And I like looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Oh, no. One day of it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And now do you have to go to work once a week now for a while?
Once a month.
Once a month?
Yeah, until they force me to go more.
Are you serious?
What's the point of going in more if my team can get all of our work done?
Yes. And you're more productive when you're home. Like, I can't count the amount of times you've stayed late and you're like, hey, can we push our recording back because I'm not done work yet, or something to that effect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's easy for me when I'm working at home to sit here for 15 hours and work. But I'll tell you what, the second that clock struck 4:30 in that office,
I mean, that's
chair spinning,
probably
dust behind me.
It's probably better for you that you leave work at 4:30 because that's, you know, a good time.
Yeah, if they want me to go in, I'll go in, but I sure as shit I'm not staying late.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely.
They gotta make me commute an hour.
Right.
No thanks,
you gotta
Mary.
calculate
Not
that
happening.
into your time that you're gonna be working for sure. That's just, yeah, I don't know. I think this whole new world after the pandemic is gonna be so much more different. Like, we're hiring at work right now, and the job itself is you're not required to come into the office. So it's very much hybrid. So stay home if you want to work from home. I don't care. As long as you get your work done. Like, we're pretty flexible at my office. 2 of my staff members already work from home. So they don't ever come in the office. Maybe once a month, if that. Like, if we have something going on, they'll come into the office. But otherwise, like, my whole team is a work from home sort of deal. I go into the office just because of what I do.
There's no point.
Right, exactly. I work very closely with people, and I have to work with hardware, so it's easier for me to go into the office. And I don't mind. Like, I've been going into the office since the pandemic started, really. It was like 2 days a week.
You haven't had an extended period where you strictly have worked from home.
No.
Whereas I have for 2.5 years.
True. I don't know how. I don't know if I would be able to adjust like you did to that, to actually, working from home that whole time and then trying to go back into the office at all. Like, I probably would go through the same thing that you're going through now.
Oh man, I was so stressed. I tell you what, I was not a pleasant human.
Oh man, I could tell as soon as we got on the call today. I was like, "Oh, Nikki, you must have worked from home today."
I did. Yeah. I'm here in my baggy clothes,
hair
got a messy bun in.
Yeah, and you look.
Ain't got no makeup on. Just drew my eyebrows on.
You look actually like much happier.
I am. I'm so much happier because it's great. I worked, and you know what? I friggin' worked late today, which I would not have done if I was in the office.
Right.
But there was an issue that I had to deal with, so I worked late. But then as soon as I was done, pop off that laptop, step outside in my new garden oasis that I have in my backyard.
So beautiful.
Birds are chirping, sun's shining, and I'm instantly in a good mood.
Yes, it is so beautiful today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't wait. Summer is here, everybody. It's official. Summer's here.
It is true.
Yeah.
That happened.
Mm-hmm. It did.
Happy summer solstice, everybody.
Yeah. Whenever this episode comes out, it'll probably be a couple weeks from now, but happy summer solstice.
Happy summer solstice.
It will still be summer.
Several days ago, now several weeks ago.
Yeah. Now we can actually celebrate, go to the beach, enjoy sunshine, enjoy nice weather. I can't wait. It's going to be good summer.
Hurrah. Well, let's pivot from good summer to ghost towns.
Yay! I'm so excited. I love ghosts.
So this episode is going to differ from most of the episodes that I do.
Oh. Is it going to get better as it goes?
No.
And the ghosts live happily ever after. Wait, live? Yeah. Yeah, the ghosts. That is not a good face that you're making right now. Okay.
This episode is going to differ from my usual because it is not going to be super long.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm drinking, so we'll make it long.
Yeah. This I feel like is going to end up more of like a nice just a snack size main episode.
Perfect.
Because it turns out that ghost towns, they don't really have a lot going on. Because they're ghost towns.
I mean, that's fair. They're already dead.
Yeah, and most had similar stories for the most part. Because it would be a town of some sort, and then something would happen, and then it's not a town. Because everyone either leaves or dies.
Right.
And then there'd be some ghosts or some hauntings.
How long was that?
And then that's it.
Episode we just released. It's an hour and 42 minutes. I'm pretty sure that people could use a little bit of a snack size episode for once.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So put it on the record. I'm doing a short story.
Okay.
Or so I think. I think so.
Well, people will be going into the story knowing how long it is. So they already know.
It's true.
I don't know how long it is right now talking about it, but you'll know going into it. Right. I know it's a big surprise. It's going to be that kind of episode today, folks.
Yeah. It's late at night, so we're getting loopy.
Mm-hmm. Loopy and drinking. Well, I'm drinking anyway.
Megan is drinking.
It's my usual Thursday activity. Well, normally Wednesdays, but
yeah.
Today it is Thursday.
Today's ghost town is in the deserts of northern Chile. It is far from civilization. It was a mining town.
It always starts with a mining town, doesn't it?
It does.
I feel like
most of them are because people go there to mine whatever it is, and whatever it is dries up or it's no good or it's something, and then everyone's like, well,
then
I guess
becomes
that's done.
A literal ghost town.
Literally.
And then there's a lot of accidents that happen at mines too, like horrible accidents.
Exactly.
Which is so sad.
And the conditions are not good.
Yeah.
So this mining town is seen as one of the world's most haunted places. And for a while, it was thought that they uncovered an alien skeleton there.
What?
Yeah.
No way. Okay.
We got a lot going on.
I am very intrigued.
Noria was a mining settlement founded in 1826. It was set up to mine saltpeter.
Okay.
Which I then had to Google. And it is, well, the internet tells me that it is potassium nitrate. And so back in that time, it was a hot commodity. It was once even nicknamed white gold.
Oh.
And it boomed to become the main export of Chile.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a super valuable commodity for two reasons. One, because it could be used as fertilizer. And two, because it could be used as an explosive.
What? Wait. Those are two very different things. What?
Yeah. The article I read was like, the two reasons it's so important are it gives life and it takes life.
Oh my!
I was like, whoa.
That is a very dramatic effect.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not wrong. Fertilizer helps things grow.
Yeah.
Explosive. So if you hear like poop bombs.
What? Groupons.
Poop bombs?
Oh, poop bombs. No.
Poop bombs?
I've not ever heard of a poop bomb.
Oh. Well, this is what would be used to make poop bombs.
Okay. I have only ever seen personally manure used as fertilizer, so
I didn't know where you were going to be going with that. I've personally only ever seen poop explosives, not poop bombs.
Right. You do not want to go in there after a poop
You do
explosion.
not want to go where the poop explosives are.
Gross.
It's a biohazard.
Right? You gotta wear your hazmat suits to get in there.
At the time that the mines were set up, you couldn't make this stuff. Like, it couldn't be man-made. You had to actually mine it. It had to be found naturally, and Chile had lots of it. So the industry was booming at the time. There were even wars over it because other territories wanted to invade the land that they had because it was so rich with this saltpeter.
Did they use
that
poop
they wanted
explosions?
to take it? Yeah. Even though it did spend time, like saltpeter spent time being this massive industry, it didn't last super long. A synthetic option was created in 1909 by 2 German scientists. So then the demand for it to be naturally mined steadily declined. Because they'd have to pay a lot of people to mine it and a lot of workers to do all the things and the ship it and the
Yeah, absolutely.
whatever you got to do to mine saltpeter.
It's interesting that synthetically made would be sufficient.
Yeah.
It's good, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, good, I guess, if you want to make bombs and fertilize things.
Yeah, yes. I suspect fertilizer is definitely a good thing. Bombs,
Yeah.
probably could do without those.
One of 2 of those is good.
Yeah, exactly.
So this meant that once this lab created version came out, that any settlements built specifically to mine it no longer really served a purpose. Noria did last long enough to be dubbed one of the oldest towns developed in the saltpeter boom, so they did kind of outlast most other settlements. Mm-hmm. It even had 1,000 or over a couple thousand residents in it when it was at its kind of biggest boom, which was a lot for just a mining settlement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it wasn't just homes and the mines. They had a fully developed settlement. So it had lots of different shops, and there was a church, a school, and at one point there was even a railway line that went through it so that people could get there from main towns. Mm-hmm. Before the synthetic saltpeter alternative became popular, there was also a large fire in this town, and it ended up destroying a lot of the saltpeter deposits.
No.
Yeah. And that kind of hurt the population before they declined because of the synthetic stuff.
Yeah.
Because there was less to mine. So they just couldn't have as many workers because it just wasn't there.
The mine caught fire?
It said the town.
The town caught fire?
There was a large fire in the town. So I don't know if the mines were directly in the town, or I don't really know.
I wonder if it was
like.
Just the actual place where they stored the stuff that they had already mined.
It could be.
Yeah, that would make more sense to me than the mines.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I also don't know what saltpeter really looks like. I don't know if it was an actual mine or if it's just like like a hole in the ground, or you know what I mean? It could be the side of a rock. I have no idea.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I'm not up on my
come at us with your
saltpeter
knowledge.
We must have somebody out there who has a little bit more knowledge about saltpeter.
It was actually kind of confusing. When I first Googled it, it said it was, when I just Googled saltpeter, it said it was a preservative, and they use it in like curing meats.
That makes sense if it has any salt properties to it.
It does,
yeah,
and it does
absolutely.
have salt properties. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But that's like kind of gross that's in meat, and also fertilizer, and also explosives.
Yeah,
that's not then something I want to put in my body.
I feel like if you start digging into anything that we use,
yeah, that's why I've become.
You're gonna have
crazy
a bad
person
time
with what I eat and put on my body.
Exactly. On your body, in your body. Oh, I guess and
on my
your
body too. I'm talking
yeah.
lotions and potions.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
My husband gets at me if we're in a store because I read the ingredients list for absolutely everything I purchase.
That's fair.
Always.
Well, you have a lot of allergies, so that makes sense.
I have a lot of allergies.
Yeah.
And then plus I just only like things that are all natural. And then he gets cranky because it takes forever. But you know what? I'm going to live a really long time.
That's right. Absolutely.
Or so I'm going to tell myself.
Listen, even I'm starting to do that because of all of my new allergies that are popping up. I'm just like, you know what? I actually want to be healthy. So I'm going to look at everything and make sure that it's something that I should be putting in my body or on my body. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you.
Although Noria did spend time as a thriving community, the living and working conditions were said to be pretty awful. The settlement was in the Atacama Desert, which is supposed to be the driest place in the world. The elements are harsh and the land is absolutely desolate. So that meant that living in that environment, just being in that every day, was not easy.
No. They wouldn't have like easy access to water or anything like that, probably.
Oh no, I do not believe so.
Yikes.
On top of that, the working conditions were said to be absolutely awful. Some accounts even compared it to slavery in the way that the workers were forced to stay and work in the mines despite the harsh conditions. And they were said to do long, grueling hours and minimal pay.
That's really sad. That's probably exactly how accidents kept happening in mines like that.
Oh, yeah. And that's, all of that means that bad conditions, bad environment, everything, that there was a lot of death in the community.
That's sad.
A lot of children and workers died from the poor living conditions and accidents.
Oh my gosh.
It's just a settlement that they threw together. It's not overly safe.
Yeah.
And young people would be working too in just the bad living conditions.
Mm-hmm. They obviously got paid fairly well, I'm assuming, though. Like,
I assume not.
Why would you do that kind of work in a place that?
If there's no work anywhere else, and somebody's going to give you a settlement with a house.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, especially like during the Great Depression or something like that, when there was not a lot of jobs out there for people to do. Yeah.
There were actually so many deaths in the town that they had to build their own makeshift cemetery on the edge of town. Once the town was abandoned, it was very unfortunately looted.
Oh, no.
What's worse than that is that a lot of these people were also grave robbers.
Oh my gosh, no, they did not dig up the graves. Oh my gosh. No.
Because this was just a makeshift cemetery that the community put together. And it had to be used more frequently than it really should have. Most of the graves were very shallow to begin with. It was kind of makeshift little wooden coffins and they were just under the surface. Really, they weren't very far down.
Wow.
So the grounds now are a horrific sight.
Oh, do you have pictures
when
of
you
that?
see it?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
No.
The cemetery, it's pretty big. It's just an open area, fenced in, littered with unmarked wooden crosses, like just nothing but crosses, makeshift, all different sizes, shapes, you can tell, kind of just thrown together.
That's so sad. There's no record of who's buried there, and
a lot of them appeared to be unmarked. They were just straight up like two pieces of wood stuck together.
That's so sad.
Yeah. And most of the coffins have been dug up and the tops broken, leaving all of the skeletons exposed.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like today or?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible. Talk about disrespect for the dead.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Major.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
And because a lot of these are open and they're not very deep in the ground, a lot of the bones ended up outside of the coffin. So there's also just bones littered everywhere as well.
And I'm sure you'd have like whatever wildlife in the area ravaging those bones and anything around them. That's, oh my gosh, that is, horrible, horrible disrespect. Wow.
Oh, I saw pictures and I saw video of it.
There's a video?
Oh yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
It honestly doesn't look, it's so horrible and so unbelievable. It looks like it's a movie set or something.
No way.
You know what I mean?
Like, it's hard to actually grasp that this is real.
Yeah.
Like, real people in a real community that actually passed away and were buried.
And just so disrespected that there's just like skulls everywhere and just open coffins that you can just see in.
Oh my gosh. Like, that is horrific. Oh my gosh. Like, just, I can't even wrap my head around that right now.
No. I'll post pictures on Instagram.
Great. Can't
so if you don't like skeletons, don't look at it.
Maybe we have a warning up with that one.
Yeah. I'll write a big warning in the text. And I mean, you'll have our little cover picture, so you have to swipe past that to see them.
Yeah, exactly. Don't look at the pictures until after you hear the episode.
Yeah. So now we have this cemetery filled with people who died in awful conditions way before their time, who have now been disturbed and disrespected in the afterlife. So what does that usually give us, Megan?
Poltergeists and ghosts and horrible evil spirits.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Wouldn't you be cranky too? Wouldn't you come back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would be one of the most revengeful ghosts ever. Don't disrespect my body that way. Oh my goodness.
The local legend says that now this area is filled with angry, confused spirits. They say that when the sun sets in the ghost town, the dead rise up from their open graves and they wander into the now abandoned downtown of the settlement.
Like they're skeletons or...
I was trying to get confirmation on that because, as we know, I'm a visual person.
Yes, same.
And so I was trying to figure that out as well. If they meant there's just like a bunch of skelemen doing like a conga line into the town, or if it was like spirits of the people.
Probably.
And I think it is spirits.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I'm going to assume spirits because I feel like there'd be a lot more hype about skeletons wandering around in this town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is just so horrible.
Yeah. Oh, it's so awful.
So bad.
The articles said that there had been lots of eyewitness testimonies that claimed to have seen this happen, this rising of the spirits and walking into town. Locals from anywhere near that area generally refuse to go near that town.
No way.
They will not step foot anywhere near that town because they know how angry those spirits are.
Angry as in like, what do they do?
The spirits?
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you want to find out?
I mean, no, but like, how do they know? I would assume they would know they're angry just from what happened to them. But like,
yeah,
what are these spirits doing other than rising up and wandering around?
Well, the locals they've tried to physically stop tourists because people want to go see it.
I want to watch a YouTuber go in there. Right now.
You can.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I literally like subscribe to anybody and everybody that has a YouTube channel and does like paranormal activity stuff. I'm going to
tell you about a girl in a minute and you're going to like her, I think.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. So locals try and stop them. Physically, they try and stop them. And just out of genuine concern for them, like they don't try and scare them. It's just they genuinely are worried for people going in there.
Fair.
So the people that have been foolish enough to go there, they have reported a lot of paranormal activity.
No way.
Especially at night.
That's so interesting. I wonder why nighttime?
Well, because that's when the spirits get up and move around.
Obviously. I mean,
Obviously,
hello.
nighttime is the right time.
It's the right time. I know that
Yeah.
there's like the witching hour, which is supposed to be the most active hour between 3 and 4 a.m. But
Oh, really?
yeah, you didn't know?
No.
Okay, well, I watch a lot of paranormal YouTube, and this is what they say. Between 3 and 4 a.m. is called the witching hour, and it's supposed to be when, I guess, the veil is the thinnest, and you can see and hear more activity. And that's when they bring out all of their equipment that they have, like the, what do you call it?
EMF reader?
The EMF reader. They have like the REM pods,
the voice
and
box
stuff like
things,
that.
the spirit
boxes, all that stuff. They bring that stuff out after 3 a.m. I saw this. There's a new method that they're using that I'd never seen before until very recently, called the Estes method. And what they do is they have a spirit box playing in headphones, and they blindfold somebody, so they have like sense deprivation, and they can hear a lot better. They can hear through the spirit box, through the headphones, a lot better. And the people around them will start asking questions to the spirits, and this person who's blindfolded literally can't see or hear anything because they have the spirit box blasting in their ears. So the people in the room are asking these random questions to these spirits in the room, and the answers that are coming from the spirit box is
cool. That's a really cool way to do it.
Absolutely, so super cool. I am so fascinated by it. You have to look it up. Estes method. It's ESTES method. It is super fascinating, and one of the most accurate things. And it's ridiculous, some of the stuff you see, because like answers can be, and it's not always this case, obviously, but the ones that I've seen have been like bang on. They'll ask a question and it's answered almost perfectly, and it's almost like they're having a full-on conversation with the spirits in the room, and it's like mind-blowing. It's
cool.
So fascinating. Anyway, that's what I want to see about this ghost town.
Okay, so these people that do go in, a lot of paranormal activity, especially at night. Witnesses have reported hearing a lot of disembodied voices that they can't quite pinpoint where they're coming from, but they just hear people. They hear a lot of screaming. They hear footsteps walking towards them, but they can't see anything.
That's so creepy.
Which I find absolutely terrifying.
I'm so creeped out by that. Especially if it's nighttime and you can't see, and you're like literally shining your flashlight everywhere, and you just can't see anybody walking, but you can hear it.
And you'd probably be like, you know, sometimes you're like, I think I heard a noise from over there, or was it over there?
Right? You can't.
You know what I mean? So you'd be like,
pinpoint.
oh wait, where are these footsteps coming from?
Oh my gosh, that would creep me out. I would love that so much. I definitely want to do this. I need to go on adventures, ghost adventuring.
Oh God,
I am in.
Lots of people reported seeing apparitions and shadow people wandering the streets. So I don't know, shadow people, I don't know if they just see kind of like a dark figure, or, you know, more of like a
I suspect that's what it
outline
is.
of people.
Yeah. Normally what you see is a head and shoulders, and you might see like part of their arm, but it's very rare that you would see a whole like figure that looks just like us. That's like a shadowy figure, but a lot of times you'll see something moving, and it's a little too light. It's too like it glides as opposed to walks kind of thing.
Don't like that.
Yeah. I find this stuff so fascinating. Okay, continue.
So when people report seeing shadow people wandering the streets, it's almost always at nighttime. So a lot of people think that that's the spirits from the disturbed graves wandering the streets. See, that's how I know I'd be at a place in this town if I was a ghost, because I would be a morning ghost.
Okay.
So I'd be up at like 6, 7 a.m. and I'd be like, time for my ghost walk.
Ghost walk, seriously.
And all the tourists would be gone, and I'd be like, hey, where is everybody?
But would you have any concept of time?
They clearly do, because they come out at night.
But that's what I'm thinking is like the more likely you'll see them is when the veil is technically the thinnest between the worlds of the living and the dead. And so nighttime is closer to that time when you start to actually see them. So they could be there the whole time. You just don't know. Because I feel like ghosts don't sleep. I feel like, I don't know. Who can verify this for me?
We need a paranormal investigator on your stat.
Please join our show. We would love to chat with you.
Locals also reported seeing children spirits creeping around the abandoned schools at night.
Okay.
But they said it would look like they would think it was a real kid and be like, hey, what's that kid doing here at night? Whoa. And then when they'd go investigate, it wasn't a real kid.
Oh my God, that just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Kid ghosts are honestly one of the scariest things out there, in my opinion. Because it could technically be a ghost of a child, but it could also be something pretending to be a child as well. You gotta be careful.
Yep, don't like that. I keep getting these scary topics, and I don't do well with scary.
I was just thinking of
fairies and dragons.
It's late, and I know right after this you're probably gonna go to bed. And
I know I keep hearing noises, and I'm like, huh.
Oh man, you'll have to let me know how this goes after the story.
So what I mentioned earlier about this girl I found on YouTube, her name is Amy. She has a website and a YouTube channel called Amy's Crypt, where she visits super haunted places all over the world and does blog posts, and she does videos of them, and they're not super long. Like, I think this video was only like 8 minutes or 9 minutes or something.
Okay.
It's very cool.
Palette
Megan,
size.
I feel like you would like her.
I literally just wrote it down, so I will look her up after this.
And she's Australian.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
yeah.
I love accents.
Yeah. So she actually went there and visited Noria. I think she had, I don't know if it was her partner, business or personal, I'm not sure. But there was somebody else with her. And if you're thinking of visiting, she did say it was very hard to get to.
Oh, I mean,
yes.
It sounds like it would be because it's not near anything that would be civilized, really.
No, it's in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
So when she was explaining it, she said it looks like it's accessible on a map, but there's one road that leads to it, and it's only like one direction. Like, it's not a road that goes through and you could take it from either direction. It's like one road that stops there, and because I guess one side of it is blocked off completely. There's some kind of like actual mining company or something on the other side.
Okay.
So she was able to follow the one road that was open to a certain point, but then there was another mining company of some kind that had it blocked off with a gate. So she couldn't go any further.
Oh.
So then I think she said the guy at the gate hand drew them a little map being like, you can get there, but you got to walk.
No.
Or have like an off-road vehicle, and they just had a regular vehicle. So they had to walk. She said it was 5 kilometers, but she said it took her multiple hours. So that doesn't really add up to me.
Well, it depends on how much equipment you have that you're lugging with you. Like, if you're walking at
They just had a little handheld camera.
Oh. Okay. Well, I guess it depends on how quick they walk. I don't know. You and I used to do 5K walks all the time, and it would take us about an hour, I would say.
We would do 8K in over an hour.
Yeah, it would be over an hour. Oh, yeah, because we would do over 5K.
Yeah. I can do, if I'm walking fast, I can do 5K on my lunch break.
Yeah.
Which is an hour.
Yeah, same. I could probably do it in that amount of time as well.
Yeah.
So
she made it sound like it was multiple hours. I don't know. Maybe the conditions are very harsh, and if it's desert, maybe it's a lot of sand. I have no idea.
That's true too. Yeah, you might have to wear.
But either way, prepare
something over your face so that you're not breathing in all the sand or whatever.
Oh, they didn't seem to be doing that.
Oh, okay.
No, they weren't prepared.
Did you watch the video? Was it a video?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, she has a whole video. So, yeah, so they had to walk in, and while she was in there, she found this really creepy, it was like an open-sided gazebo almost, and it was filled in like a circle with all kinds of like artifacts from the town and a lot of old shoes and then a lot of human bones.
Oh, nice.
Just all laid out on this.
Cool.
Yeah, it was very creepy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just,
oh my God.
You know when you see something that just gives you vibes and you're like, nope, something's off here.
Yeah, this ain't right.
She also found the cemetery and she explored that, which is, so if you want to see video of this cemetery, she's got a lot of footage of it, walking through it. She said there's also some exposed mine shafts there, so you have to be careful because you can just fall in.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
mean, also fall in open graves too.
Right? Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very scary. You'd have to have a guide or something with you, I would assume. Does she have a...
Nobody would go there. Locals won't go there.
Yeah, that's right. And they were deterring her from going. I'm surprised they gave her a map on how to get there.
Yeah.
I guess they were a mining company, so they probably maybe weren't from there.
Yeah. Then she did something that I definitely would never want to do. She stayed until after dark to see if the dead would rise.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, for the video.
I was nervous watching
and
it.
watching the video, but not like actually experiencing it. Probably would be pretty scary.
Yeah. She didn't see any spirits walking into town. She did do some spirit box sessions. She did one in the graveyard and then one at that gazebo. Mm-hmm. And if anyone doesn't know, that's just a machine where spirits can communicate with you using radio waves, so they can communicate words to you or like short phrases. Yeah. She didn't really get anything substantial on it. She got some sounds that like you couldn't really make out what they were saying. To be fair though, and she's clearly very smart, is that she was translating, so she was asking the questions in Spanish.
Right.
And so they were getting some kind of sounds back, but you couldn't really make it what they were saying. But obviously also if you didn't speak Spanish, maybe it's something that you missed. The one word that they could hear was the word desert came through. But nothing like super duper creepy. Yeah, so she didn't really get anything substantial other than just like how creepy it was. Mm-hmm. And then her and her partner just walked back through the desert in the middle of the night.
So did she stay till 3? That's what I want to know.
No, she didn't. I don't believe so.
Then she missed out on probably the most active period, in my personal opinion.
Well, damn. We got to write her and be like, you got to go back, girl.
Absolutely. It'll be worth it. Promise. For your viewers, anyway.
If you do visit, be warned that the closest form of civilization is a gas station that is 20 miles away.
Oh my
which is
gosh.
32 kilometers.
Yikes. That is a distance I wouldn't want to walk.
No.
It's like a
no, if you're having an emergency and you needed somebody.
Yeah.
Noria has gotten a lot of attention over the years as a very haunted place, but in 2003 it also got some attention for a possible alien site.
Oh, man. I love it. Not a UFO.
A local... Right?
Not a UFO. Just the alien.
Not a UFO, just an alien.
Bones. I mean, just an alien. Like, for
just
real.
Just an alien. A local man had been spending time scavenging the settlement for historical trinkets, and he found a small mummified skeleton. It was only about 6 inches long, and it had a very misshapen skull.
What?
It was very elongated from like the eye sockets up.
Yeah.
Almost in like kind of a cone head shape and like quite elongated.
Interesting.
In addition to how angular and tall the skull was, it had very slanted eye sockets and it had fewer than normal ribs. So it only had 10 pairs of ribs instead of the usual 12.
Okay.
Initial estimates of the age of the bones were consistent with a child aged 6 to 8 years.
What? 6 inches long?
Yes.
What?
Which is why people jumped to aliens.
Of course. But there's also, not aliens that are...
There's always not aliens. Have you thought about that? Can I get that on a shirt? There's also not
aliens, right?
But have it in the shirt. There has to be an alien that looks like they're trying to pass as human. Yes. With like glasses and a trench
literal
coat on.
cone heads from the movie.
Yeah. With a little hat on top of their cone head.
Oh my God. Yes, I love it. Look for that in our merch drop that will happen at some point in time.
Yeah. Photos of this skeleton made their way around the world, and ufologists, it's spelled like UFO. No, it's spelled like ufologists and not UFOologists.
It could be. I don't know. It just was really funny the way you said that for some reason. I don't know.
Well, everyone knows what I mean. People that study UFOs, they all jumped on it, and they tried to find evidence that it was in fact an alien, because obviously that would help them with things
they exist
to prove things. Science,
absolutely.
A businessman decided to purchase. Just a businessman. I don't have any more information than that. I don't know why I find it very funny that a business, that makes me think it's another alien undercover.
Right? Do you remember my story about aliens?
Human, yes.
Exactly.
A human businessman.
Yeah. It was a man in black.
Decided. Yeah. He decided to purchase the skeleton and bring it to Spain so that it could get analyzed further by, I don't know, fancier analysis. Okay. The remains were then featured in a documentary about aliens that's called Sirius, but spelled like Sirius Black. I guess that's not a good example.
Or like Sirius XM, yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
The skeleton was prominently featured in the documentary and referred to as the Atacama humanoid, because that's the name of the desert, or they just called her Ada. Ada? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Ada.
Sure.
I clearly didn't watch the documentary.
Could be Ada.
It could be Ada.
I actually know people who...
It's only one T.
Oh, it's a T, not a D. I don't know why I was thinking it was a D.
No, it's ATA. Ada?
Ada? I don't know. Yeah.
I tried to find the documentary and I couldn't.
No, it's too bad.
So don't at me if it's wrong.
Okay.
On camera, the filmmakers are shown cutting open the skull and removing rib fragments so that they could do a DNA analysis of the skeleton. The analysis...
Are you
something
okay?
Just made a noise something just made a noise in my office.
I can't hear it, but I'm sure it's on the recording.
The aliens and Men in Black are coming for me. The ufologists.
No, the ufologists. Not the aliens, but the people who study them are coming for you.
Yeah.
Listen, that's what I said. You remember my alien story? As soon as you start researching or talking about UFOs, these Men in Black come for you.
Oh no.
And they all...
I was Googling.
Yeah. Yeah, they're after you now.
If you don't hear from me, they've taken me.
Okay. Yeah.
Come search for me at Isengard.
Are you a hobbit now?
Maybe. I like potatoes.
Yeah, fair enough. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yeah. No, I'm an elf. Yeah. I make good lembas bread.
That's right. Yes, you do.
Okay, so skeleton Ada. So they took her, whoops, spoilers. They took the the DNA, the bones I don't know what I was just going to say, but I certainly wasn't going to say analyze. I was going to pronounce the emphasis weird.
Oh my gosh. I love this story.
So what happened to that time I said I had a short story?
I know. I was literally just looking at the time.
It's only 2.5 pages. That's all I've been reading.
Oh my God.
That's all usually I have 8 to 10
there
pages.
There is a lot of things happening that we can discuss though.
I have a problem.
I feel I
can't stop talking.
I also feel like I'm very passionate about the paranormal and aliens and like all that kind of stuff. So I could talk about that stuff for days.
Well, okay, so analysis. The analysis proved what scientists had been saying all along. The remains were a human and they were female. The analysis showed that she had multiple bone disease associated mutations, which gave her the very distinct look of her skeleton.
Right.
Although that dating initially estimated the bone age of the skeleton between 6 and 8 years old, the researchers with this further analysis found that the remains had a rare bone aging disorder that made them seem older than the person than what they actually were.
Right. Okay. So it was just potentially a mutation.
So they think it was a baby.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes.
That's so sad.
It is. And I will say, just, this is the last thing I have, but just to point this out, is that some people were not happy about everything that happened with this skeleton because it was, did turn out it was obviously somebody's child, be it born or unborn child, that was buried here and dug up and taken and studied and and sensationalized in the media. So locals were not happy about it, and they found it really disrespectful, so they wanted it returned to the burial site so that she could rest in peace.
Good. Well, good
and
that
then,
they wanted that, I guess.
Yeah, I agree as well. And the scientists studying it, they say that they were only in it because they wanted to figure out what was wrong with the skeleton, because they're scientists, so they were like, it's clearly a human.
Right.
So they were looking at it from the perspective of, we want to find out what is wrong, and maybe we can learn something that can help other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm not going to get involved with the politics of that, but I thought I would bring up both
donating your body to
sides.
science, and if you have any kind of, I guess, birth defects or malformations or anything like that, then that's something that would help. Studying through science on how to help people who are alive dealing with those issues. Like, I can understand that on a science aspect, but I understand also where the locals are coming from and how disrespectful that was to this human body, and laying it back to rest where it belongs and things like that as well.
Yeah, and I don't think they gave it back.
They didn't. No,
I'm not sure. Honestly, I couldn't really find it. And I mean, some man purchased it, so I guess technically he owns it. I don't know how you purchase something that nobody owned in the first place, but I don't really know. But I don't know about that.
That.
But they did learn some new stuff by analyzing it, because they were talking about how the genetic bone disease mutations that she had, it was like they've never ever seen somebody have that many different of those mutations all stacked together.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there was like more science behind it, but I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, because I feel like I wonder if it had something to do with potentially being exposed to like all of the minerals and the nitrates, that you're exposed to in the mines.
Because I'll tell you what, those nitrates will give you cancer.
Right. Yeah. So absolutely, that could have had an effect for sure. So, it could also say to the scientists that it's not healthy to live in exposed to that kind of area for that long, for however long that might have been that they lived there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so sad.
So in summary, no actual aliens. Yes, ghosts.
That we know of yet so far.
Yes, no aliens that we have proof of.
Although, we'll go back to all the videos that were declassified by the United States government about all the UFOs that have been discovered. Oh, man. Listen, I could talk about this all day.
Save it for the next episode.
I know. We have more episodes that we have to definitely get like down into the nitty gritty where I can actually research it and talk about it. Because
I'll put a category in the list. I'll think of something funny that goes with UFO.
Perfect. I love it. And I'll hope I roll for it at some point.
What?
And I hope I roll for it at some point.
Yeah.
Because I got to roll to get it.
Well, speaking of rolling.
Oh, is it my turn?
Just hop on my segue here.
After we've talked for over 50 minutes on your shortest story ever.
I really thought this was going to be short. I was like, it's fine. We're recording late, but my story is so short.
But listen, anytime you give me the opportunity to talk about ghosts or aliens, I am all over it. Especially while I'm drinking. Yeah. Yeah, you did. All right. I'm going to open up the categories because I forgot to do that. Bam.
I forgot to add a new one in after I took mine out.
I did it already. I went in and already replaced all the categories that were missing. So here we go. Rolling. 14. Hey, that's not bad.
That's a pretty good roll.
Fast food kills. Oh boy. Fast food kills. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for this wild episode. The shortest one yet, apparently, which is longer than we expected.
So, scratch from the record at the first where I said I did a short episode. I'd like to have that stricken from the record,
I love
please.
how we just talked about how short the episode was going to be, and they would already know because they've clicked into the episode and know how long it is. So they're going to be like, right from the beginning, they're going to know we're full of shit.
You should all feel sorry for my husband because this is my life. Let me just tell you this quick story in 10 seconds or less. 20 minutes later.
Right, exactly. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us today. If you want to follow us on social media, you know how to get a hold of us. We are the Grimdark Diaries. And you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter. We also have a TikTok now, so you can find us on there. We haven't posted anything there yet, but we will at some point when we have time and space and energy. And if you want to send us your stories, send us your ghost stories, send us your alien stories. We'd love to hear them, and we'll give you shout outs about those. Shout outs. I don't know what I just said. Shout outs. We are at the grimdarkdiaries at gmail.com. If you're listening to us on an Apple podcast right now, open the app. Give us a 5-star rating. Give us a comment. Let us know what you think about us. We'd love to hear from you. Any other podcast platform that you're on, whatever you can do on those, you can give us a 5-star rating. You can give us a like. You can subscribe, follow, whatever you'd like to do. Help us get us out there. Share us with your friends. Do all the things. We love you guys for it. Thank you so much for getting us out there. We appreciate you. And join us next week to see what I come up with for fast food kills. I feel like this is a super timely category for me just because I am so focused on like switching my eating habits right now. I'm trying to be more plant-based, more healthy. I'm losing a lot of weight. I'm feeling really good.
Yeah.
So this is a really good...
Vegetables will save your life.
Right? This is a good category to talk about how fast food kills, and then we can all live a healthier lifestyle going forward.
Oh, see, I was thinking like about somebody in a fast food restaurant that gets killed.
Oh, okay. Maybe. We'll see.
Because I don't think true crime is if somebody eats a bunch of fast food and they die.
It depends on how it's being thrown down their gullet. We'll see. We'll see what I come up with.
If you can find a story where somebody's force-fed fast food until they die, you got to do that story. Sometimes I see a meme that's like... local man dies after eating 456 chicken nuggets. And then the first comment is, so what you're saying is the limit is 455.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hopefully that's not the case. And we are not probably going to talk about that. But we'll see. We'll see. And remember, a friend in the dark beats alone in the light.